This lesson will teach you about some important parts of the Visual Studio environment. I'll be discussing a few important parts of the program, including the design view, the toolbar, the solution explorer, and the properties window. First of all, I'm going to show you the design view. The design view is on the bottom left portion of the screen. It's used to design the form, or the user interface that the user will see. You can see right now that my form is actually blank. I can use my mouse and the little drag tools to create a form that is the size that I want. But to actually add items to the form, I need to use the toolbox, which is on the left-hand side of the screen. So I'm going to use my mouse to click over to the toolbox, and I'll see dozens of things that I can add to the form. Some things that you might be used to seeing include buttons. Just click and drag on it. Checkboxes, which I'll click on and drag in. List boxes, and text boxes. I'm actually going to drag on a couple of text boxes so that I can show you my next part. The next part that I'm going to show you is the properties window. The properties window is used to edit the properties of different things that you have in your form, or the form itself. So for example, for the form, I can use the properties window to change the title from form 1 to, if I go into the text property, my first program. In addition to that, there's a variety of other properties that you can see in this pretty large drop-down scrolling list, and I can change the size. So let's just say I know that I want my form to be exactly 1000 pixels wide, and 1000 pixels high. So changing it in the properties window is pretty quick and pretty accurate. We can even change the name of the form, but we'll discuss those things later. You can feel free to explore the properties view by clicking on any one of the items that you might have on your screen and changing its own unique properties. So one more thing I'll do is I'll change this text box so that instead of being 100 pixels wide, I'll change it to be 200 pixels wide. And you can see that the changes are reflected immediately after I press enter. The next thing I'm going to show you about the Visual Studio environment is the toolbar. The toolbar has many important functions, and I'm going to show you a few of them right now. The save button, which has a keyboard shortcut of Control S. That's useful so you don't lose your work in the event of a power outage or any sort of tragic accident. There's a Save All button, which has a keyboard shortcut Control Shift S, that will save not only the current document, but also every document that you have in your project. The last button I'm going to show you is the Start button. The Start button is used to convert your program from its source code into machine code, and then it runs the program. So when I click on the Start button, it will take a few moments and it will run the program. The program now can actually be used. Unfortunately, I haven't written any code yet, so I can't really do very much, but you can see that I can actually interact with the user interface, so I can type things into the text box, I can click on the checkbox, I can even press the button, but it doesn't do anything. So I'm going to press the close button now, and I will show you the last part of my interface here. That is the Solution Explorer. The Solution Explorer is useful for going into different files in your project and also moving from the design view into the code view. The design view again is where you design your form. The code view is where you actually program the lines of instructions that will tell the program what to do. So the code button is the angled brackets in the Solution Explorer, so you can click on different files in your project and you'll see the code involved in each file. To return back to the design view, just double click on the file, form1.cs, and it will jump back to the design view. To go back to the code view again, you'd click on the view code button, which is the two angled brackets.